All right. Fair enough. So now we discussed both sides of the ball. Let's move to the projections. I think you and I are probably on the same page here. I really expect the Browns to struggle. Well, I don't expect much out of the Browns or the Steelers. So I guess I want to hear your opinion on that.
So I'll start with the Steelers because I have them at the bottom of the division here. And this is going to sound crazy. We've talked about how Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. So I can't believe I'm saying this. I think the Steelers go 2-15. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and just like the last time we talked about the AFC record predictions, like we're talking about the AFC, it is a dogfight every week in the AFC. There are a lot of really good teams. So all these AFC teams have difficult schedules. And the Steelers, a lot because of the quarterback play, a lot because they can't stop the run. Like I think there are factors that factor in that they're going to lose when they play one of the good teams. And I think the wins that I did give them, I believe, were like division games that they'll split or a really bad team. But again, 2-15, probably unrealistic. Mike Tomlin team, like I could see them getting to 6 wins or so just because Mike Tomlin's that good of a coach. But just looking at it on paper, I have the Steelers at 2-15. And I actually have the Browns because I don't know how to project the Browns with the Deshaun Watson thing. He might play a certain amount of games. He might play all year. He might not play at all. My projection is if Deshaun Watson, if the appeal process allows him to play every game this season, they will go 11-6. If he's not there, that changes drastically, and they probably end up with a losing record, would be my opinion. I think Jacoby Brissett can keep this team with the talent that is on that team. I think they can stay around 500, but the best that they'll do, in my opinion, is 11-6.
Okay. Well, I have a little differing opinion. You kind of covered this a little bit, so it's not that much different. I have these two flip flopped, right? And the reason I do is the Steelers always find a way to win. I mean, maybe it's not dominate win, but I mean, Mike Tomlin's never been below 500. There's a reason that happened. On the flip side of the ball, the Browns always find a way to fuck it up. And when you factor those two things in, I have to give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt. They'll be closer to 500. I still think this might be Mike Tomlin's first losing season. I wouldn't be surprised if they only get to 7 or 8 wins. The Browns, I agree with you. So all things being what they should be, they could come in and win 11 games. There's so much going on. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns only win 1 game or 2 games. I mean, it could legitimately go either way. To call the difference in the middle, give it the benefit of the doubt, maybe 6 to 8 wins there. But we're not expecting a playoff run from either of these two teams, I don't think.
Yeah, pretty much. Assuming one way or another, Deshaun ends up missing time, the Browns probably don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Even still, we've got all the other stuff going on. The rust, he's got to get off. The rust, it's going to take him several weeks to get the rust and get adjusted to the new system. There's just so much working against the Browns right now that it scares me. But to move on, who do you have in first place?
So first place in this division is going to be the Bengals.
So you think, we talked about a lot of things here. The Bengals offense is more explosive. You have them as 4th in the division of defense. You have the Ravens as the best defense. Jackson's not, the offense isn't at the bottom, but you think what the Bengals have on offense is enough to overcome what the Ravens have all the way around the ball. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. Because if you remember also, you're talking about the Bengals defense, I think they're you could say that they're the worst defense in this division, but still could easily be a top 10 defense. I expect them to be in the top half of NFL defenses. So they're still good. It's just not going to look as good because that offense is so explosive that the defense will be on the field. And the Ravens were a difficult one because that defense is going to keep people from scoring so much, and that offense has a chance to be explosive with Lamar Jackson. But I just feel like the Bengals proved it, right? Like there might be a little bit of recency bias. I might be putting too much on Joe Burrow and how good he is and how good that offense is, but it just feels like what the Bengals were able to do in the last half of the season last year and then their playoff run, like they figured it out. This is a young team. They don't know what they don't know. And right now, all they know is greatness. Like a lot of these young guys just know to come in and win. And I expect them to keep doing that. It's going to be a difficult schedule. I have the Bengals at 15-2. Is that realistic? Probably not, because it's the AFC. They play a lot of good teams. So I could see them being more around 12 wins, but I do expect them to win this division.
Yeah, me too. I have them around 13 wins, 13 or 14 wins, and I have the Ravens around 11 to 12 wins, and the other two finishing below 500. So we're pretty much on the same page there. I think those are pretty safe bets.